Good morning, my friends. I have not done a live video in quite some time. I haven't really been feeling it recently. And I thought I'd share something this morning about anxiety and worry and fear that I've created, that I've been going through in the past really only like 3 hours. I've gone through a lot of anxiety in the past, so I know it well. But I had an experience this morning where I actually created it, saw myself creating it, and then eliminated it. Got like, boom, evaporated it. And it has everything to do with time. I've been reading a book by Eckhart Tolle. It's a pretty famous book. It's called The Power of Now. And he talks in the book about 3 different versions of time. One is psychological time. One is clock time, like the time that the scheduling time. And the third is now. And let's see. How can I start this story? For the past 6 months, I've had this ongoing lower back pain that has it's on the right hand side. It goes in and out of varying degrees of intensity. I mean, it's never really intense. It doesn't keep me from getting out of bed. It doesn't keep me from walking. It doesn't keep me from doing anything I really want to do. But varying forms of intensity in terms of a really low grade. And over the weekend, we drove to Arizona and back, and spent a lot of time in the car, and my back started hurting more. I think from just being isolated, sitting in the car and driving for that many hours. And this morning, I've also noticed a little bit in the front, like psoas area in the front of the hip. So this morning I was meditating, and without really realizing what I was doing, I created an entire future that was I can't even really say it, like it's crazy. I created an entire future where I got a tumor. I went to the doctor, found out that I was gonna die, stage 4 or something. That I was going to have to figure out how to say goodbye to my son, my family. I was leaving everyone. There was no cure for this, that I was going to go through what several of my friends have gone through with cancer. That I should have done something sooner. Like, I felt the pangs of regret and pain. And that I was aware enough that I was doing that I needed to call. I should have had a physical. Like, I haven't had a physical now in like 3 years. Because I'm freaking healthy as a horse. And, but I should have had a physical, and that I could still have a physical. I did call and actually schedule a physical. Now it's not until April this coming year. But, I don't know what point I woke up, because I started to get anxious. I started to get afraid. I started to get depressed. I started to, depression is pain from the past that I have not that I'm not letting go of. And I'm ruminating on and judging myself on and feeling bad about myself generally, shame, guilt, pain. And anxiety is all future-based, what might happen. So I was feeling both. I was feeling shame for having not done what I thought I should have done up until now, and anxiety for what I was going to have to do, which is say goodbye to my family and die, basically. All that could be true. I mean, all that could be 100% true. I might have had a premonition, and that's all happening. but that's a great example of psychological time, of the runaway train that occurs in your mind that causes, even without, like, I don't even know, I was completely unaware. I mean, I know better than to let myself do it, but I do it anyway. Because your brain, my brain, is a machine. It creates this stuff without, it doesn't need any prompting. It doesn't need any help or assistance. It just does it. And, one of the things Eckhart Tolle says in his book is the evolution of consciousness occurs through a letting go of psychological time, of being in the now. Obviously, his book's called The Power of Now. So, of course, being in the now, he talks about it a lot. And I noticed what I was doing enough to be able to kind of separate it, put it over there, and say, oh, look, there's just my brain going crazy in psychological time. It's creating a past, it's creating a future, it's causing depression and pain and regret and causing anxiety and fear and worry. And I was then able to, move into gratitude for my life and everything I do have. And suddenly everything just shifted. And I moved into present. I guess I moved into the now. And then I decided to take action, which I called the doctor's office. I scheduled a physical for 6 months from now. For God's sakes, doctor's busy. But I wanted to share that because I know how much work on this stuff that I do, and I'm still doing it. So if you're struggling with anxiety, worry, or someone that's struggling with anxiety and worry, this is one of the ways it happens. And letting go of shame or guilt or pain or worry or fear, it's not hard, but it's also not easy, because we're up against a machine, our mind, that continuously generates it. And so if this helped you, or someone that's struggling and you think this might help them, forward it along to them. It certainly helps me to talk about it. And that's all I got. I'm out. So have a great day.